her record is pretty incredible if you look at it, and to qualify for the Hall of Fame by the age of 25 is just really remarkable.
This girl's gonna be around for a while.
From early on in the season, it was clear Karrie Webb was the LPGA's Rolex Player of the Year.
This has to be the sweetest. Her first major.
The career Grand Slam belongs to Karrie Webb.
Karrie Webb's journey to the World Golf Hall of Fame began in the small Australian coastal farming town of Ayr, where a young Karrie first picked up a club and determined she would become one of the greatest golfers the world had ever seen.
She was fearless. Karrie came along and brought a new kind of charisma to the LPGA.
Karrie has such great natural ability that her future was pretty much set in stone. I'm not surprised that she just bulldozed her way at such an early age, really. I think she's one of the consummate golfers that's ever played the game.
She burst onto the LPGA Tour scene equipped with an innate ability, an unwavering work ethic, and an inimitable passion for the game. Karrie Webb's storied 1996 rookie season has become the standard by which other rookies are judged, winning in only her second event as a pro and finishing the season with a total of 4 victories and Rookie of the Year honors.
Karrie has great determination, and I think she has tremendous heart, and she has a lot of emotion when she plays golf, and I think that those 3 things set her apart from everyone else.
Webb has won 30 LPGA Tour events and is the youngest player to win the Grand Slam.
For what she's accomplished at her age is phenomenal. And at these days, if you win 1 or 2 tournaments a year, you've had a great year. And to qualify and then also win the career Grand Slam, it's not easy to do.
But it isn't just her career victories, 6 major titles, or the ease in which she conquers a golf course that makes Karrie Webb a champion.
I believe there are just a few people who come along in any sport that really change the landscape, that make people believe they can do more. I think her story greatly adds to the whole story of golf.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is a great honor that I introduce to you World Golf Hall of Fame member Karrie Webb.
Well, it's just so unbelievable to be here tonight. Thank you, Ty. Thank you so much for introducing me. And thank you for your very kind words. However, I think perhaps we had the same speechwriter tonight. And I hope I don't bore you with the rest of my speech, because I think Ty said mine word for word. So. Golf has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. It has been a huge part of shaping me into the person that I am today. My first memory of golf, which Ty shared with you earlier, is when, as a 4-year-old, my grandparents, Mick and Joyce Collinson, would pick me up at 7 a.m. on Sunday mornings to take me out and to play 9 holes with them. I had my little set of plastic clubs, and off we'd go. I look back at that now, and I have to think that my grandparents had to be the most patient people in the world. Even back then, I was very competitive. I had to finish a hole that I started, even if it was taking us half an hour to play. Of course, at 4, I couldn't walk the entire 9 holes. So I'd sit on the back of my granddad's golf bag, and he would pull me and his clubs around the rest of the way. Finally, one Sunday, I got so frustrated when the head of my plastic club flew off again and went further than my golf ball, that I'd had enough. That day, I remember my grandma telling me that for my 8th birthday, that they would get me a real set of golf clubs. Sure enough, on the morning of my 8th birthday, my grandparents came over with the clubs, and my parents had the bag and buggy for me. It seems such a huge jump from that memory to be standing in front of you tonight. To some, coming from the sugarcane town of Ayr in rural Australia to playing golf amongst the world's best women may have seemed like a pie-in-the-sky dream. But it never fazed me, however. I've dreamt of being a professional golfer since I was 11 years old. I feel very fortunate to have been born with the talent to play this game. But that wasn't all it took to get me here tonight. It was a love and passion I have for the game of golf, and the determination to work as hard as I needed to fulfill my dream. I remember the day when I boldly came home and told my parents that I wanted to be a professional golfer. I had just been down to the Gold Coast to watch the 1986 Queensland Open. I had gotten to watch my hero, Greg Norman, play for the first time. Being able to watch him play in that tournament was all the inspiration I needed as a kid to hopefully someday follow in his footsteps. I feel very fortunate to have gotten to know Greg since that time. He has not only been an inspiration to me growing up, but has become a good friend and is always there to answer any questions or give any advice. Since turning pro in 1994, the ride has been so unbelievable. I have so many great stories and memories on and off the course. As for the good memories on the course, it is so hard for me to single out any tournament in particular. I will always cherish every tournament that I have won, from my first win, to my first win in Australia, to my first major win. My achievements on the golf course have way surpassed any expectations and even most of my wildest dreams. I didn't do this on my own, however. There are many important people in my life that I have to thank. Without their influence, I know I would not be standing here tonight. To my parents, Robert and Evelyn Webb, thank you so much. Firstly, by the way, there's an over or under when I was about to cry, so I think I made it further than I thought. Firstly, thank you for your unconditional love. Thank you for your support and willingness to do everything in your power to make an 11-year-old's dream a reality. There aren't enough words to express my appreciation for everything you have done. To my sisters, Janelle and Katie, thank you for being two of my best friends and always supporting me the way you have. To my grandparents, Bob and Marion Webb, and Mick and Joyce Collinson, to all of my family, thank you for always being there and for your tremendous support. I couldn't have done this without you. I also couldn't have done this without the support of some really great friends, especially of those of you here in the States. You are my family away from home. Thank you so much for your support. I would also like to thank those of you who have traveled long distances to share this occasion with me. I really appreciate all of you being here. The next person that I'd like to thank, and again, thanks just doesn't seem enough, is Calvin Heller. Calvin has been in my life for as long as I can remember. He has been a good friend of our family for a very long time and is the initial reason why my parents first asked him to help me out. My relationship with Calvin was very informal the first few years. He would help me out whenever he saw me practicing on the range, and in return, I would caddy for him in all the big events at the club. As the years progressed and my desire to learn and take my game to the next level grew, Calvin and I would spend more and more time practicing and playing together. I learned just as much from what he taught me on the range as I did from watching him play. We had such a special understanding of one another that years later, we have been able to communicate the intricacies of the golf game through conversation only. And boy, have we had some conversations. Some more heated than others, some a little louder than others. But in the end, we were both able to get our points across to get me to achieve what I wanted to. Calvin, I know you wish you were here tonight. I just want you to know that you have been such an inspiration to me in so many ways. Over the last couple of years, Calvin and I have had the help of Ian Triggs. Ian came along when I needed more of a constant set of eyes in the States. The three of us have been working well since, and I would just like to thank Ian for all of his help and advice. I have always set very high standards for myself, and if I don't live up to them, I can become easily frustrated. Having this mentality, unfortunately, often spills over into my expectations of the people around me. Certainly, Calvin and Ian are two that have been witness to this. There are two other guys that have probably bore the brunt of these expectations over the past 10 years. Evan Minster and Mike Patterson have been my two mainstay caddies during my career. Evan worked for me from 1996 till 2000, and Mikey has now worked for me since 2001. They are both here tonight, so I figure I couldn't have been too hard on them. They are two of my best friends, and I couldn't have achieved what I have if it weren't for them being by my side throughout the years. Thanks, guys, for everything. There are many women who have paved the way for me to be here tonight. Not only to be here, but they have provided me and many other women a place to play professional golf. To our founders of the LPGA Tour, members of the LPGA Hall of Fame, and all members past and present, thank you for the past 55 years. Thank you for your great play, hard work, and dedication to making the LPGA what it is today. A big thanks also goes to the staff of the LPGA. Thank you all for working so hard to provide us with the opportunities that we enjoy today. I've had a lot of great sponsors throughout the span of my career. Tonight, I would especially like to thank Seiko Epson and Shrixon for their support over the last several years. Although I have spent the majority of the past 10 years in the United States, I am always going to be an Aussie at heart. I'm proud to be an Australian, a Queenslander, and to have grown up in Ayr. Playing in Australia has always been a favourite part of my year, and I have always loved playing in front of my home crowd. And I've always been given a tremendous amount of support from the fans. I would like to thank the Australian Ladies Professional Golf Tour and Women's Golf Australia for providing me with the opportunity to play at home. To my 4 fellow inductees and their families, congratulations. I am honoured to be entering the World Golf Hall of Fame with you. I would especially like to congratulate Ayako. I think Ayako is a very deserved addition to the World Golf Hall of Fame. Not many people can say that what they have achieved on the golf course has inspired their whole nation. But in Ayako's case, she has. Omedetou gozaimasu, Ayako-san. The beauty about golf is one day I love it, the next day I hate it. But no matter how my day goes on the course, I get up and I do it again. It is a constant challenge of working my way closer to perfection, even though I will never get there. Like I said earlier, it is really hard for me to believe that I am here tonight. I still feel like that little girl with big dreams from a small town called Ayr. It really wasn't that long ago that as an 11-year-old, when I first saw Greg Norman play, that I came home and told my parents that I wanted to be a professional golfer. It wasn't that long ago that I read about, watched play, and idolized many of these very people I am standing among tonight. So I think it will always be a very surreal feeling to be held in the same esteem that I hold each and every member of the World Golf Hall of Fame. Thank you.